Do you ever just want to trip out without actually taking any drug at all? Something so insanely bizarre and maniacally fun that it's like taking 10 bags of LSD, which don't do that, would kill you, and turning it into something of an art form that you can walk down if you live in these places and visit for yourself. Yes, I'm talking about Meow Wolf. It speaks for itself and just about everything, but it's beyond words of what I can describe. A very interesting place, which is an understatement. And so, with my script, I will read you a description. Meow Wolf is an arts and entertainment company known for its art installations. Founded in 2008, and based in Santa Fe, New Mexico, Meow Wolf creates large-scale art experiences that blend various artistic mediums, including sculptures, paintings, digital arts, and fantastical environments. Now let's get out of the way of that. Interactive art is a type of art where you can be a part of it yourself. Honestly, one of my favorites because art is all about the experience, and if you can experience that experience, then it's art in its finest detail. This is like you would see liminal spaces, but in real life, including a normal looking house that you can go into. Everything is a part of a story that tells itself, and while I don't have information exactly on the story that it's telling, I think to spoil that story for you would be a dick move on my behalf. But just from the images that I see on the internet, man, I really feel like I am missing out on so many aspects of this. You have entire areas that are forced neon with unnaturally lit colors of trees. You got a room that a tool cover and several different dimensions as when you go into the buildings split up into sections. These sections are usually different dimensions with different themes attached to them. Meow Wolf also aims to contribute to the local economies by attracting tourists and creating jobs for the people that work there. Sometimes even having actors that are a part of the show. I'm sure if you've been to a haunted house or another place that you can find people do acting roles and they act not at all like a regular human being, but that's part of what makes it pretty badass. Another cool aspect of Meow Wolf, it can teach you about how to make art yourself, be more imaginative, elements into your art. It could even be something such as architecture, and it's, you know, anyone can visit it. It's not just for adults. You don't want to have a little kid wiping his boogers and putting it all over everything. It's still fun to, I would say, bring your kid with. One of my favorite aspects of Meow Wolf is probably the Omega Mart. It's a parody of an actual Walmart with pyramid-shaped troughs of different fruits and a dimensional door increasingly warps soda bottles the more you go into it. Interesting food items. I'm not sure if you can actually buy the items, but if you can, that's awesome. And different sections of bizarre food, things that you can't find anywhere else. On the surface, it looks like a normal store until you realize, what is this supposed to be again? Some of these, as I said previously, give liminal space vibes. I had a friend that introduced me to Meow Wolf, and ever since then I was infatuated and absolutely enthralled by what I was seeing. This was superb in every way you could even imagine. I think it's one thing when you can bring art into real life. It seems like in a lot of our modern world, these types of attractions are lacking. Especially where I live, where it's pretty boring. I live out in the middle of nowhere. It's hard to find creativity gathered all together. Many different artists worked on this at once. Also, there's a room where you can crawl into a washing machine and you will go out the other end. It's literally a tube with a portal. And then in the neon room, you have TVs that have stuff on them. I'm not really sure what it's supposed to be portraying. And then you have a bunch of eyeball crayon things. I don't know how to say it. But honestly, if I had this type of money myself, I would so do something like this. Or at least I would create some attraction that people could just go crazy with, implementing aspects or inspiration of Meow Wolf. A lot of the items as well are food themed, but not in the way that you would think. These aren't foods that are edible per se, but have the theme of food as a part of the story. For example, there's a room with a fridge, opens a back portal again, and it leads to a room full of refrigerators with different items inside of them representing different aspects of whatever you call it, including a rock candy thing section, I don't know how else to explain this, except looks like Osamu Sato art, if you know who Osamu Sato is. I should do a video on him sometime. I think that would be a fun video. The Denver one has a collection of Kevin Bacon artwork. Attraction has Francis Bacon faced artwork themes. They're creepy and distorted, as they don't have particular meaning behind them except dark themes. Francis Bacon, there's two of them. There's this guy and then this guy, which I'm talking about. He was an Irish-born British painter known for his raw imagery, focusing on the human form and different people being tortured and gore and other dark shit. But a lot of it had to do with the retrospect of World War II and World War I and what he witnessed through it. And there's a whole entire documentary talking about how people, they wanted to see nice things after World War I, but he went the opposite way of what people wanted to see. As you've noticed by a lot of music and culture after the 1940s were particularly much happier sounding, including music. And then after the 60s, a lot of things changed, but particularly in this time period, people didn't want to realize the horrors that they had already seen. Honestly, I might be a hypocrite for talking about Meow Wolf and not having seen it. It's something that's always fascinated me. It just seems like there's so many different places that you can check out. There's YouTube videos of people that have actually been here, of course, and I've watched many of these videos myself. I watched many of these videos, and it was in a desert with cactuses in the sink and some shit boiling over. But it's so amazing the level of detail there is with a lot of this, and how everyone who has been in these places have been genuinely respectful towards the artwork. I mean, I'm sure there's been some a-hole, but it hasn't been ruined. I mean, how could someone ruin these things, you know? I think a lot of when we see things that are rare, we value them more innately. And this type of art form, the one that you can experience firsthand, is not something that we'll see every day. You know, it's a one-time experience. Maybe not a one-time experience, but you know what I mean. If there were more places like this in the world, I think more of an admiration for artwork. Although I think art in itself already can be niche and there's different types of art, but even if not everyone's creative, it can definitely introduce people to maybe art that they never even anticipated before that they might be interested in. It also opened and pretty recent. It hasn't been that long, so looking forward to potentially more of them that could be opening in the future, like the Grapevine one in Texas, with financial backing of George R.R. Martin, author of the Song of Ice and Fire series, which was transformed into their first permanent installation, House of Eternal Return. In 2016, House of Eternal Return opened to the public in March, and it was one of a kind. It gained popularity, drawing visitors from around the world and establishing Meow Wolf as a leader in the art industry. In 2018 to 19, Meow Wolf announced plans to expand to other cities, including Denver and Colorado and Las Vegas. And as I was talking about previously, in 2021, Omega Mart in the Las Vegas was opened, as well Convergent Station in Denver in September. Both installations were well received and featured the same blend of interactive, narrative-driven experience that had been made. Meow Wolf's vision has been able to create spaces that foster more creativity than they did before, plus the storytelling aspect of it too. This can also be pretty personal too, because you can interpret this into your own thing and tell your own story if you don't exactly know what the hell is going on. It's kind of like in Minecraft, where you don't understand why the villagers exist. You don't understand why the End or the Nether exists. No, you can just create your own story with it. I've had some inspirations with this to write down my own ideas that could have potential one day. It sucks because I live far away. I live in Maine, but I would definitely want to go see this place with a friend one day, and I hope you do too. And if you've been there yourself, definitely let me know how it was and your experience with it. Overall, I enjoyed doing my research into this video. I make other essay videos, I make gaming videos, I make I make basically everything. So if there's other things you want me to talk about, definitely let me know down below. And I hope you all have a good rest of your day, and thank you for watching. See ya.